So you found the skeleton. How would you tell it's a dinosaur? You personally, how would you decide?
Well, interesting question. I don't know. I'd have to do some research on this.
Hey everybody, welcome to Tisdall Tuesday with Chesh, who's only a little bit late today. Hi Chesh.
I'm not late, I'm just dumb.
Well, okay, you might be a little bit of both. Bitcourse, who's been a member for 36 months,
Why not both?
sends a whole lot of stuff in Japanese, and I don't read Japanese, so I'm just going to say thank you and take a drink because there's a Godzilla. So thank you very much.
I'm gonna Google translate it.
Do it, please. Okay.
I'm doing it.
So next we have a $20 super chat from Jessica, Transmetal Alchemist, that is blank. So if you had meant to send a message with that, please tag me and I will read it. But if you intended it for it to be blank, then thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. Okay, the first kind of emergency thing here is that I have found out that Chesh has apparently never played any of the Legend of Zelda games. Now this is understandable because she is in fact a girl and girls don't play video games. So I have to explain how the Legend of Zelda works. So you play as Zelda, who has pink hair.
Oh no!
And what happens is you have to go into all these dungeons called temples.
Not again!
Now, each one of these, you think that Ganondorf is going to be there, but instead, it's just his little bitch Ganon. And Ganon is guarding the orbs of the sages. And the way that this works is you have to collect all 3 orbs from the sages to stop the moon from crashing into the earth, because the moon has the Triforce in it. And then when you stop the moon, then Ganondorf doesn't get the Triforce, and then you get the Princess Link. And that's how the Legend of Zelda works.
How many people even understand this joke?
My guess is actually, given that it's my audience, a pretty good number of people.
Probably more than you would think, yeah.
Yeah. So there we
Good
go, everybody.
God.
I have officially mansplained the Legend of Zelda to Chesh with 100% accuracy.
I can't even burn the F-bomb this early. That was so incredibly wrong.
I was thinking about how wrong I could possibly make it for quite a while, in case you didn't know.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, no, you don't say. If you understood that reference, please type, I don't know, something in the chat. Murphy. Please put Murphy in the chat.
Yeah, that seems like reasonable.
Because that's how old that joke is. It's about as old as Murphy.
And it never, ever gets old. Chesh never even expects it, but every once in a while she'll say something that's vaguely related. And I'll be like, see, Chesh, what you don't understand about Mario is...
I never expect it. I always forget about it. And then, like, then it hits me in the face. And I'm just like, oh.
Yeah.
No.
All right, everyone, we're going to go over the drinking rules for today pretty soon. But I do want to let you know, stick around after the break, because I have a little extra treat for everybody. We don't even have to hit a funding goal. The other thing is, I'm doing an experiment. So, we do have a super chat goal here, and it's the normal one that I have, which is 30 super chats at the tier level. But here's the other thing I'm doing. I'm tying the rewards in the poll, which is just the normal ones I use for the super chat goal. But that's actually going to be tied to supers overall. I have a figure on here that tells me how much I have in USD. And when that one gets to what the normal super chat goal usually is, which is 150, I'm just going to do the things in the poll. The reason I'm doing this is because I did it last time because basically I forgot to set up the super chat goal, and I felt bad about that. But then I realized I kind of like that because it means that people who say have like $2 super chats, that counts. And on the other hand, like if you're in like a geographic region where like your currency is wonky and then YouTube is charging you extra money, you get to provide extra value to that. So what I'm doing is the 30 super chat goal is I will just read a couple pages of English as she spoke, regardless of whether or not we hit the 150. But if we hit the 150, I will also do whatever's in that. So there's basically 2 different things. If we hit both and English as she spoke is what wins, then we'll just read 6 pages. That's fine. So that is what I'm doing today because I am trying an experiment.
I doubled mine up on my channel. So usually there's the goal of drinking the spice, but also the costume goal. Which the costume goal was incredibly successful last Friday, so everybody who helped me reach that goal, oh my god, did we make Chuds angry.
good.
I couldn't ask for anything more.
Yeah. I like how you are simultaneously, apparently, a derogatory word for a sex worker, but also incapable of getting anyone to sleep with you. Which
correct.
It is a weird dichotomy. I guess that just means you're a really, really bad at your job, sex worker.
I guess.
Yeah.
That seems to be the case.
I mean, I don't know. Hey, maybe it's the mustache.
Maybe it's the mustache.
Could be that.
To be fair, I think the mustache is the best part, but you know.
Plus, a lot of people are into mustaches. It's fine. Lieutenant Matt the Navigator for $5 says Tisdall would favorably respond to an email from Modern Day Debate. That's probably true. Although to be fair, I think he probably doesn't know who they were, and if some random YouTube channel emailed me, I probably wouldn't be mean. So
Yeah, I wouldn't bully somebody for just being completely ignorant, but I would bully somebody for being lazy.
Yeah. Well, stick around after the break because I'm being lazy, but I'm not being ignorant.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. Let me adjust the funding here. Oh, it also means with me doing the actual value that people like Jessica Transmetal Alchemist, who gave more than a $5 super chat, counts more towards that goal. And also, we'll release Chesh from the F-bombs if we hit the 150 or the super chat goal, whichever one comes first.
I do have one thing that if you don't mind.
I mind a lot, but I'm not going to stop you.
Okay, thanks. There's been a thing that I've been following for about 2.5 years that is really big about online harassment and online harassment campaigns and groups that do online harassment, like YouTubers and stuff. And I've been putting out a bunch of shorts. And if you guys could do me a favor and just give me a couple of minutes of your time, because the shorts are only a minute a piece. If you guys could take there's still a couple more coming out throughout the rest of the week. So if you guys could take a hot second and just take a look at some of those, I would really, really, really appreciate it, and share them if you can. This is all about the legal consequences of online harassment and how those legal consequences are actually real and they do exist. So if you don't mind giving them a share, giving them a like, maybe leaving me a comment, I would really, really, really appreciate it.
I was just watching one of your recent ones before I started setting up.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I really do appreciate it. It actually means a lot.
I have notifications turned on for your channel. I don't always make it for lives, but that doesn't mean I'm not there and I'm not watching.
That's okay. My feelings are not hurt about that.
And then sometimes I just send you things like Cervix Explorer while you're live. And
this is true.
See
if
you can survive. Yeah.
If you're watching me live, there's a 90 whatever like a
80,
70%
78
chance.
Yeah.
That Dapper's messaging me, and what I'm laughing at is Dapper, and usually I'll tell you what it is.
Yeah. Today I took a break. Basically I took some lunchtime, but that was really fast, so I was like, all right, I'm not quite ready to get back to editing. So I jumped into a match on Space Marine 2, and my teammate had the username Cervix Explorer, which I assume means that guy is a gynecologist. Because why else would you have that username, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, let's see. So Roshina says, where would you hold a debate now? Well, I would go to this new channel called Debate Hub. Yeah, that's where I would go.
That's me!
So that's where I think we should grow some debates. But actually things that are worth debating, which can include creation and evolution, just not, with open Nazis. So anyway, let's go through the drinking rules real quick because we've only had one. But the rules are that, first of all, if you want to play, that's fine. If you don't want to play, that's also fine. If you want to play, but you don't want to use an intoxicating substance, if you want to take drinks of water, juice, soda, tea, coffee, any other safe beverage. Don't drink lava or liquid nitrogen or something, but safe things.
Yeah, probably don't try to drink lava.
Yeah. That's fine too. If you try to play along with liquid nitrogen or lava, it doesn't count. You lose in many ways.
Yep.
So don't do that. But if you do decide to play along with something intoxicating, whether it be alcohol or some other substance, preferably legal in your jurisdiction, please pace yourself, know your limits. We're not taking shots here. I am taking sips of some pre-mixed mango margarita because I realized earlier today, maybe I like mango too much. That might be a character flaw of mine.
Mangoes are really good.
They are really good. All right. Anyway.
I'm drinking tea because I'm...
lame. You're lame.
Yes, I'm lame.
Yeah. Too cowardly to put gin in it.
I'm not going to put gin in my tea.
Coward.
I'm not 20 anymore. I would have done that a couple of years ago.
What, back when you were 15?
Yeah, back when I was 15. I would...
Okay.
Absolutely.
Coach, you've been 17 for what now? 7 years?
I've been 17 for my whole life.
Okay. You were born at 17?
I was born at 17. I'll be 17 when I die.
That's all right. You know what? Femke Janssen was born at 50 and sexy as hell. And she's been 50 and sexy as hell for the entire time.
Hell yeah.
So get some of that Femke Janssen energy.
At least Jong is looking out for me.
Nice.
Gin and tea is criminal. It does seem criminal. If I had rum, I would do it. Rum, I would.
If you put gin and tea, the Mounties come and they say, hey there. What you got in that cup there, friend?
What you got in there, bud?
Is that some gin and tea, eh?
Yeah, I would get arrested.
You know, that's illegal here in Canada.
It is. Don't do it.
All right.
They'll know. They'll smell it.
The horses can tell. They're trained.
Yep.
Goodness. All right. We're going to keep going. I'm going to get to the rules. All right. So
we're never going to watch this video. It's just us hanging out every time.
Hey, last time we got through like 7.5 minutes, Chesh. That's a lot.
Yeah, look at us go.
Yeah.
We're great.
All right. So the actual rules. First of all, we will take a drink anytime Laurence Tisdall says something that's just so stupid we need to have some brain cooling going. We'll also take a drink if Laurence Tisdall says something that's actually factually accurate, and it's not just a citation like a quote that he's reading, but it's actually in his brain. We'll take a drink for that. We'll also take a drink for any jokes that he tells that doesn't land, that don't land. Grammar. What is grammar? I'm not a linguist. You can tell.
I've never heard of grammar before in my life.
Nope, it's made up. It was made up
grammar,
by
I barely know her.
It was made up by ancient Romans to bully school kids.
Oh, that sounds right.
That's actually closer to right than you would think, honestly. It's not that far
Me?
off.
I don't think. I have no brain today.
There. We'll also take a drink if Laurence tells a story that doesn't happen. Now, that's, a story that didn't happen is a bit of a judgment call. It's based on whether or not we think it's plausible. And if we're wrong about that, it's okay because, hey, none of this matters. This is just for funsies, okay? The drink count, it's not important. If you want to drink without the drink counter going up, you can do it. I can't stop you. I won't stop you. I don't want to stop you. Anyway, we'll also take a drink.
Can't stop, won't stop the rock, no.
We'll also take a drink if Laurence Tisdall mentions that political party that was very, very relevant in the 1930s and early 40s over in Germany. And that's, increasingly important here. And also increasingly important over on modern day debate, which is something we'll talk about later. Yeah. Spoilers. We will also be taking a drink if... Wasn't that funny?
Spoilers, sweetie.
Well, yeah, I mean, that was the reference.
Yeah.
Oh, hey. Dengo Pave? I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. I'm so sorry. But also, you joined the channel at the Tetrapod level. So everyone, send Tetrapod emojis to welcome Dengo Pave, which is what I'm going to go with right now. And Dengo Pave, please correct me.
Howdy.
Yeah, so we'll also take a drink if Laurence Tisdall cites a source. We check the source, and not only does it fail to support him, but it actively contradicts him. And this is because there is sort of a law of Yek, which is similar to one of the laws of Flurf that Toon has come up with. The law of Flurf is that Flurf citations to non-Flurf sources will always contradict the claim. It's not that strong with creationists. It is young Earth creationist sources will never support a young Earth creationist claim unless it's a young Earth creationist source. And they don't always contradict, though. Sometimes they're just irrelevant. So that's why we have a slightly weaker version. We will also take a drink for what we call... by the way, that drink was called the Trojan source. And before anyone asks, I have no idea who came up with it, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't me. And the other people who use the term Trojan source are in the same boat because I asked. I specifically messaged and was like, hey, who came up with this? So I don't think it was me. And they all said, I don't think it was me either. So whatever. None of us are angry that the others are using it. Anyway, we also have ad hominid, which is whenever any creationist mixes up what we can know about Lucy, the specific individual Australopithecus afarensis, based on just her skeleton, versus what we can know about any wider taxon to which she belonged based on any of the finds of that taxon. So that is ad hominid. We only get one per show, because once they do it once, they're just going to keep doing it over and over and over and over. Also, if either Chesh or I can successfully predict where the creationist is going next, where it's not just blindingly obvious, we call that a prediction, because it is... I don't know why I said it that way. Anyway, we take a drink for a confirmed prediction. So we will.
We call it the thing that it is.
Yes. We use the normal English word for the thing. I'm very clever and very smart. SMRT. Anyway,
we are currently sharing a brain cell.
Oh, come on! There's at least 1.5. Actually, I think that half one is actually just some glial cells that are keeping the one little connection to the brain stem just barely connected. All right, so those are the triggers that Laurence here can cause, and maybe I forgot one. If I did, we'll drink for it anyway, because who cares? Again, it doesn't matter. Now, you guys can make us drink if you want to. There are a few easy ways to do that. One of them is to send a super chat or membership milestone chat to the effect that Answers in Genesis or AIG are in fact a bag of dicks. We even have a special emoji for that. So if you are a channel member, we make it super easy. Also, if you are a channel member, you can send any of the kaiju emojis, which include Godzilla, Ghidorah, and King... and Mothra. I said King Ghidorah. I was going to say King Mothra, but that doesn't work. She's also a queen. Anyway, I'm losing it today. I've only had one sip of this margarita. So this is how we're starting off, everybody. Anyway, yeah, if you do that, we will take a drink. Also, if you send gifted memberships, we'll take a drink for each one of those until it gets to be a little excessive, which is around 30. At that point, I will just finish my drink, increment the drink counter by 30, which, depending on how recently I got my drink, might mean that I drink far more than 30 of the normal drinks that I have. And then I will get another drink, and we'll continue on from there. So basically, that is the finish your drink trigger. Just send enough of those. Let's see. There's also Dapper's a professional. If I screw up the production, so things like which scene to switch to, whether or not video should play, who is muted versus not at any given time. So, like for instance, if obviously Chess shouldn't be muted, but for some reason I forget to unmute her when we come back from break or something. Yeah, that's a Dapper's a professional. We take a drink for that. Now, if it's something like the software crashes or YouTube HQ catches on fire or a meteor strikes my house or something, that's not Dapper's a professional. That's out of my hands, right? So sometimes people have been like, oh, the stream crashed. Dapper's a professional. No, I didn't choose it to crash. I didn't do anything to make that happen. It just happens sometimes. So anyway, I think that covers it. Have I forgotten any that you remember, Chesh?
Nope.
All right.
Sounds good to me.
Last time we were here, Laurence Tisdall was saying that some Presbyterian guy in Canada was saying that there's two books that God wrote, the Book of Nature or Creation and the Bible, and they are of equal importance. And Laurence here is very angry about this, and he said, no, the Bible is absolute truth. And we took a drink for that and left off because that was a very silly thing to say. Because here's the thing, right? Reality is the thing that is true. And if anything contradicts that, then we call that thing wrong. So if you want to measure anything for truthfulness, you measure it against reality. If reality says no, then it behooves you to not believe that thing. So for instance, if the Bible says the earth is 6,000 years old, which I don't really think it does, but like you can do some stupid literalist nonsense and add up genealogies and get to about that answer. But then reality says, nope, it's millions and billions of years old. Well, guess what? The Bible's wrong. Sorry. Because what is right and wrong is what accords with reality versus what doesn't. So I think with that preamble, look, we're only like 20 minutes in. We're doing okay. This is not that abnormal. If this were we're
doing all right.
If this were a Dapper Reacts, then people would be actively trying to get us not to talk about Laurence Tisdall. So,
fair.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Here's some more Laurence. There it is. That's a Dapper professional. I'll take a drink.
You can see where we're going here. Now, what happened to the Presbyterians was this, and this was all about the age question, all about the six-day creation. The Northern Presbyterians said, we're going with Woodward, and we're not accepting that. And so Genesis, therefore, becomes what? Genesis becomes a poem, sort of.
I mean, no, it's not a poem because it's not poetry. It's not written in verse. Laurence, do you know what a poem is? Because Genesis is written in prose. It's written in a fairly high prose, I'll give you that. But that's like the difference between using $5 words and not when you're writing a story. So no, I'm gonna take a drink, Laurence. It's not a poem.
That's not how that works, my guy. Thank you.
I think that Laurence might think that poem means non-literal, and that not a poem means literal, as if you couldn't give an analogy or an allegory in prose. and as if you couldn't literally describe something in verse, which you can absolutely do those things. It's not that hard.
This is like saying if it rhymes, it's a poem.
Yeah,
this is a kindergartner understanding.
Seriously. For $5, Sapphire. Oh my goodness, there's a new username that I have to check with. Sapphire Zombie Goliath Light for $5 says, it's been a crummy week and YouTube Super Chat checker has gotten ridiculously strict, so have some pride flag instead with a general pride and a trans pride flag. Thank you very much. Trans rights are in fact human rights. So, I don't know, uphold them or you're horrible. And I hope that you get exiled to... Where's a good place
into
to exile
the Elon
people?
box. You get to the Elon box.
Which is in France. So...
Right now, yeah.
Watch out.
Nobody wants to go there.
Yeah. They'll make you eat croissants for 3 meals a day.
Croissant.
And then they'll give you brie, but it will be bad brie. It'll be all hard all the way through. Like, you know the crust on brie, the rind? It'll just be the rind, the solid all the way through. Yeah, the worst part of the brie.
Yeah, I don't like that.
No.
I don't like that one bit.
Also, I now want brie. I want to go to the store and buy brie. It's really good.
Me too.
It's one of the best things France has ever done is brie. Let's be honest.
Brie and baguette.
Baguette's pretty good. Yeah, baguette.
Baguette. Well, I mean like the combo, like together. And then the wine. That's a good combo.
I'm fine with having some California wine. It's fine.
Wine, cheese, and bread.
Yeah, it is a pretty good combo. But then again, they didn't invent that combo. They just invented some of the best of the breads and cheeses to go, and some really good wines. So, Lieutenant Matt the Navigator for $5 says, the Gettysburg Address is a poem. Wait, no, it's not.
Wait a minute.
Laurence might think it is, though. Laurence probably would think that. Naramda puts, man, they changed the color on moderators, and it's now really hard to read against the green background for super chats.
Yeah, it
is not a good color combo. Yeah, darken it up a little bit, YouTube.
Just a little bit. I also like the wrench better, but I'm getting used to the shield.
I get why it's a shield. I think it's probably more appropriate, but yeah, but look, I'm an old man who hates change, so bring back the wrench.
Yeah.
So anyway, Naramda puts for $5 says, anyway, didn't Laurence get his balls back last Tisdall Tuesday? Yes, but we haven't seen them since then, so we don't know where they are.
They're gone again.
They might be. We're not sure. He might still have them. Maybe they're in his pants. I don't know.
Might still have them.
Yeah. Also, I'll be honest. When I put the word balls in these the names for these streams, they seem to do okay. So I put balls in the name.
We put balls in the name.
Yeah.
That's how we win at YouTube. Thanks, YouTube.
Yep.
You need to start giving me these information sooner so I can start abusing it. Thank you.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it works for everybody.
We can find out.
All right, we'll put balls in the name of your next stream.
All right, I will do that.
Poetry that has some moral implications. Of course, what happens to...
He got really quiet.
Fine.
One of the problems with Laurence is that he is apparently not well mic'd up.
He is not well mic'd up.
So sometimes he will just clip like crazy, and then other times he'll be really quiet. He'll be like this, and it's kind of like an ASMR video. Yeah, it's really dumb. Really dumb. Anyway.
Genesis 3:15. The serpent?
Yeah. You mean the things that can't talk, Laurence, but that talk in that section? We might have to interpret that as a non-literal historical event? Laurence? The horrors of saying, hey guys, since serpents can't talk, maybe we should not take this as a historical event. This ideology about why humans don't like snakes and why humans die sometimes.
First prophecy about Jesus?
Just take a drink. John Kitai says, why do these people never have good audio with some skull emojis? I think they just don't care. Because the thing is, and I think it's the creation speakers who don't care. Because I know of churches that care. And this looks like a church that cares, right? They have a whole big multimedia thing setting up with like projectors and whatnot. And my guess is they have a sound guy in the back. I went to a church that had a sound guy in the back. Actually, we had like 2 sound guys in the back.
I was the sound guy in the back.
Yeah. I think the last time I saw sound guys in a church, they were a married couple whom I knew. Not well, but I knew them. And they were doing sound together. And they had a big old soundboard and everything.
What happens? Is that also an analogy?
Sure. Or it's an ideology, because that's what it actually is, Laurence. That's what's
This
actually
man
happening.
has no idea what he is talking about anymore.
Yeah.
Just give
do you
up,
stop?
dude. It's fine.
Where does it stop being an analogy? How about the global flood? Oh,
Okay.
What? So
here's-
it's an analogy up until the... Huh?
I'll give you guys hints, right? Generally speaking, more or less everything in the Bible, until you get to King Josiah, is either completely made up or mostly made up. Problem solved. Everything after that is... Some of it's pretty accurate, as far as we can tell. Some of it's made up. But, you're doing okay. You're doing about as well as you could expect any other ancient work purporting to give you history, because none of them were actually super concerned with the literal events, and all of them were concerned with various like propagandistic goals, right? Rhetorical goals, to say it in a little less charged of a way. Lieutenant Math Navigator for $5 says, the dumb of young earth creationists offends the machine spirits of the microphones. That might be it, actually. It could be that the Omnissiah has withdrawn his blessing from young earth creationist microphones for so offending him. Because remember, the Omnissiah knows all and comprehends all, and so pseudoscience offends him.
I am not a smart person. I don't have a whole lot of that edumacation.
Yeah, you don't even know that the Triforce is inside the moon that's crashing into the planet.
Never mind. Whatever I was going to say, it doesn't matter.
Brokers. 27 minutes till a broken chesh.
I can't with this. I can't with this nonsense.
Why do you even show up for these? You chose this. You were like, what would be a good idea is doing a monthly show with Dapper for who knows how long.
Yeah, for some unspecified amount of time.
Yeah, and you sent me the first video and was like, oh, Chesh, there are 7 of these. You didn't know that. And no, you didn't. I didn't either, till I looked.
Till we looked.
Yep.
Well, to be fair, I tried to find it ages ago because I had this motherfucker on DVD.
And there's our one.
In my house.
I actually just recently found out that you mentioned that in that time that I streamed with you and Erica, because Erica was a brand new channel.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't remember that you had mentioned that, but then someone mentioned it in my comments and I was like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Nice.
Then I found it and I was just like, oh.
So this
and
is
then now my life
lore.
is over. Now my life is ruined.
Yeah.
The end. That's the end of the story.
But at least you understand that Ganon hides the orbs of the sages that will help you stop
Yeah, at least I've learned that.
Yeah.
I definitely didn't play a bunch of Breath of the Wild on stream where I am Tears of the Kingdom, where I am in fact a dirty crime boy.
That does sound like you. If someone said, hey, describe Chesh in 3 words, top among them would be dirty crime boy. Dirty crime boy, right? Yeah. Eris Rose, who's been a member for 27 months, says, don't forget to like and live, y'all. All right. And then there's a Mothra, so we'll take a drink. And I agree. Please hit like. It does help. Please do. All right. Here we go. Here's some more Laurence. What do you got for us, Laurence? How would we know? Oh, wait. Eris Rose just bought 5 at Dapper Dinosaur memberships. Thank you so much. Which means... Greatly appreciated. I'm going to take 5 drinks, but because Chesh is just drinking stupid tea, while I do that, she's going to describe to you what a moblin is. Oh, so actually there's this really funny thing that you can do. There's a YouTube channel that was doing like David Attenborough styled documentaries, parodies of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom about like the things that live there, and the bokoblins and the moblins were one of them. And the moblins are basically like tiny little orangey little pig dudes with little piggy noses and little floppy ears, and like they're kind of like gobbling around, and they're really cute. And actually, if you like, they actually have like really interesting behaviors if you actually just sit around and watch them for a little while. They're hilarious, but they're basically like the base level bad guys in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. I believe the bokoblins, I think they were, because there are also moblins that are like bigger versions, kind of, that have like long snouties. But I believe the bokoblins are basically like the same as like the really early
game moblins from like the first game, but I could be wrong.
All right. See, one thing I appreciate about Chesh is that when I ask her to talk about something while I take a few drinks, she usually actually does it, which not everyone does.
I try.
John Kite or Kite, let me know. Whoever gifted my membership, this is my thanks with those for $5 with the 2 hearts emoji. So thank you to whoever gifted John Kite her membership. All right. So let me fix the counter here, because we're about a third of the way to a little bit less than a third of the way, but about a third of the way to the goal for the super chats, or the supers, because super stickers count too.
Great.
So, all right, here we go.
If you don't believe in the 6-day creation, I can guarantee you don't believe in a global flood. Oh, so no.
I don't think that's true.
What?
I think there are
I don't think that's true at
who believe in a
all.
global flood. Yeah, like that's not a logical requirement. Now, I will grant you, most people who don't believe in one don't believe in the other one, but you certainly can,
True.
right?
Yeah.
Like historically, one of the ways that a lot of people got around the whole like the Earth appears to be very old and there's no evidence of a global flood is to say the Earth is very old and there was a global flood, but it was relatively tranquil, and so it left very little mark on the geology of the Earth. Which, like,
all right,
okay, it's a different kind of dumb, but it's less dumb.
like, okay, sure, yeah.
But that's a position that was actually not that uncommon in like the mid 1800s. I won't say 18th century, but no, that's
it's not the
too early.
worst position I've ever heard either.
Yeah, it's certainly not the worst. The worst one is probably flat Earth, young Earth creationism.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, which is a thing, by the way. In fact, you know Ficatzoid?
Yes.
Yeah, he's been doing creationist content lately, and it's just as dumb as you think.
Oh, good. Mm.
Yeah. Also, the made by Jim Bob, who is a creationist, who's recently did some kind of response to Professor Dave. Even more recently, did a response to Professor Dave's debate that they had that went live, not live, but like was uploaded to Professor Dave's channel recently, and his thumbnail was just warping Professor Dave's picture into a anti-Semitic caricature. So that's fun. By the way,
Ew.
Dave's not Jewish. Not that it really matters to anti-Semites who just pick whoever they don't like and just decide that person's Jewish. So, you know, which is weird because I've been accused of both being an anti-Semite and being Jewish. So that's fun.
Is Jin Bob the same as Trumpster Bob? Is that the same guy?
I don't know because I have no idea who Trumpster Bob is.
Okay, send me a picture of this guy or his channel or something.
At some point, I will do that. Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be right this second.
But yeah. The fun thing was I was accused of being an anti-Semite because basically I criticized the creationist talking points of a rabbi. And this person decided just to sprinkle in a bunch of Hebrew words in there, like teshuvah and whatnot, as if I didn't know them. And I'm like, I just responded and like, hey, using the Hebrew words for, and then I just gave like the English correspondence for all of them, doesn't make you sound any smarter, and it doesn't make me an anti-Semite. Criticizing a Jewish person isn't the same as anti-Semitism. Sorry, that's not how that works. And hey, for the record, I'm a pretty big fan of the Jewish concept of teshuvah. So like, I think it's a thing people should learn about and maybe practice whether or not you're Jewish, because it's a pretty good idea, which is basically just the normal English translation is repentance, but like the actual how that ends up working out in a lot of like rabbinic writings is like actually making amends and correcting your behavior and your attitude for the future.
Yeah.
And hey, do a lot of that, people. When you harm someone, I don't know, maybe make amends and then try to correct your behavior in the future. It seems like a really good idea.
There's a lot of things that can be learned from religious dogma and practices. You don't have to take everything on board. You can pick and choose.
No one takes all of Judaism on board because a lot of it's
right,
contradictory.
exactly.
Of course,
In
same
fact,
is true for Christianity. A lot of Christianity doesn't agree with other Christian stuff.
Yeah, most of the time, it do be like that.
Yep. All right, here we go.
It's just a story. Oh yeah, they took it from the Babylonians and Sumerians. They just.
I mean, they literally did. We have the Babylonian and Sumerian versions that are older. Like, it's.
Guy, please.
I'm taking
It
another
just
drink
because
for, like,
something came from somewhere else doesn't mean God didn't influence it, man.
There's that too, right? Like, okay, there's something you might not know about Jesus in the Gospels, but he does this thing called parables kind of a lot, right?
Yeah.
Where he tells a story that's not supposed to be historical or literally true, and then you're supposed to draw a moral lesson from it. In fact, it's so much that it's not supposed to be intended to be literally true that a lot of times he just leaves the main characters as indefinite generic nouns. Like, there was a man who had 2 sons.
Yep.
How do we identify the man? Well, he's called man. How do we identify the sons? Well, one's the younger son and one's the older son. That's it. Or there was a king. There was a rich man. So I'm just saying, the Bible has stories that you're not supposed to think are literal that are from the guy you think is God. So is it outside of God's character to tell stories to give you a moral lesson? No. Not if you take the Bible seriously, or at least the gospel seriously. And like, I don't know, I'm not your priest, I'm not your rabbi, I'm not your pastor, I'm not your imam, I'm not your mufti, I'm not your monk confessor guy. But like, I don't know. If you're going to have a religion, maybe try to do it in a way that's neither harmful nor dumb. Just a thought. Dengo Pave, which is still how I'm saying it, it says AIG is a bag of twice steeped black tea for €2. I'm not even sure entirely what that means, but I'll take a drink anyway, because you know what? I like mango, and this is cold, and it's hot here, and I'm thirsty.
And it is time to drink more.
You know the high today was 29 degrees?
That's warm.
Yeah. Yeah, I was not ready for a 29-degree day today. I walked to the grocery store today, and I walked there
It's like
in a hoodie.
negative 20 here.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I walked to the grocery store in a hoodie this morning because it was early in the morning. And then, like, right now, I am sweating. Which is weird, because I'm a dinosaur who doesn't have sweat glands.
Also, you meant 29 degrees Celsius?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I just want to make sure. I didn't
here,
want to assume. I didn't want to be rude.
I have my my phone set to Celsius, and I generally I try to use Celsius for a few reasons. One, this is a science channel, and two, many of my audience members are in fact what we call not American.
Hey.
Because I'm trying not to be the default American stereotype of a American
don't
on
do
the
that.
internet.
If you can avoid doing that, that's great.
I'm aware that Chesh, like dozens of other people, are what we call not American.
Go figure.
Yeah. There are dozens of you. Dozens!
Dozens!
It's adapted it to the Bible. Really?
Yeah, really.
We baptize
Really,
people
really?
because of the flood.
Please send the Shrek gif. Really, really?
Also, I love we baptize people because of the flood. No, my guy. The baptism originates from ritual purity rituals, I suppose, about ritual washing to restore ritual purity. And it was then extended from purity as a result of things like maybe accidentally touching a corpse or some other unclean thing.
Or
and then,
women on their periods.
another example, or women themselves who need to restore ritual purity after their periods. You know, things like that, right? And so it goes from sort of a concern about this sort of like, it's similar to like the idea of like sterility, right? Not in terms of actual science, but in terms of like how you think about it. The idea is that impurity just stays on things, and purity can be defiled by it, and then you need to do things to restore purity. And an example I like is if you see a cockroach crawl across a piece of lettuce on your salad, you're probably not going to eat that salad, right?
I probably would, but I'm a goblin.
All right,
I'm not a good example.
But most people would be like, ugh, and they would be they would hesitate. At the
I would
very
probably
least,
also eat the cockroach.
Well, but then the question is, okay, but what if there was a cockroach that just crawled out of a corner? Would you eat it if you then rubbed it with some nice clean lettuce?
Probably. I would probably just eat
You're a
it.
goblin. I'm talking to the audience.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, the humans.
Mm.
Right. And the answer for most people is, yeah, no, I would throw out that salad. And no, touching the nice pure lettuce to the gross cockroach does not fix the gross cockroach, right? So that's the kind of the idea of purity that we're going for, right? Is like, there's something that can defile purity, and then you need to wash it off somehow. if you want to restore the purity. Okay. But then you make the analogy to morality. There are things that you've done that are wrong. You are in some way being immoral or sinful, if you will. And there was, around the Hellenistic period, various Jewish people started creating this ritual based on ritual purity, but that was supposed to morally cleanse you. That's why we have pre-Christian and even pre-Jesus baptisms happening, right? And so that right there is connected to ritual purity laws, not directly to the flood. However, then later authors, like the New Testament authors, will also make the thematic connection to water wiping away the sinful earth from the flood. But that's not the primary thing that's going on in the development of baptism as a ritual. So, take another drink. I hate that I had to explain the most basic crap. Why am I better at the Bible than basically any creationist? I shouldn't be better at the Bible.
I don't know. Like, you would think.
Seriously, like this is the book that you base your entire view of the entirety of the history of the world on, as well as the future of the world. And here I am, like, hey, that's real dumb for these very good reasons that have to do with the Bible and like
that you could just
history.
Like do something else with, but no, we can't have nice things. It's
we
illegal.
Really can't. Man, who passed that law?
That we can't have nice things?
Yeah.
I heard it was God.
What a jerk.
What a jerk. What a meanie face.
God did give us beer, which is proof that he exists and loves us. So, you know, and also he gave us mangoes and tequila. So, can't be too angry.
Jesus
I guess he kind of made up for it.
Yeah, a little bit. It's like, look, sometimes
he
children
gave us
are going to
something that wasn't a good thing that we made a good thing.
Yeah. Look, sometimes children are going to get horrible, horrible cancer and die. But also, mangoes exist. So, you know, it all evens out.
Yeah. Half a dozen the other.
Yeah.
Final days, it's going to be like in the days of Noah. If Noah wasn't a real person, what does that mean about the final days?
Dude, I need you to understand something. If I say, hey, when the horrible Cheeto dictator dies, it's going to be like the end of the Return of the Jedi with all the celebrations. The end of the Return of the Jedi doesn't have to be a literal historical event for me to make that comparison, my guy.
That's
right?
very silly. That's a very silly thing. That is so silly. I'm just kind of happy you decided to explain it.
I'm drinking for it. It's so dumb.
That's very, very silly.
Hey, if I compare a current situation to a different situation, doesn't that mean that the different situation has to be literally true and historical? No.
If I say that my period is so bad right now that I feel like aliens with the chest burster, does that mean the chest bursters are real?
By the way, everyone, just so you know, I always know when Chesh has her period because she tells me.
I tell everybody. I do not shut up about it because it's not going to leave me alone, and I'm not going to leave everybody else alone.
And then I send her that gif of the blood getting off the elevator from The Shining.
Yeah. And I sometimes send the blood moon from Zelda.
No, you send the blood moon from Bloodborne.
I do that one
presence,
too.
The moon presence.
Yep. The moon presence. Yep,
By the way, in case you didn't know, the female reproductive system and the various things that happen to it are the entire point of Bloodborne. And if you're missing that...
Yeah, the entire story of Bloodborne is all about... It's literally called menstruation, my guys.
Yeah, there's a church of Mensis. There's a church of Mensis, right? Everything is about stillborn babies, pregnancy, periods. It's all about the female reproductive system. If you haven't figured that out, I don't know what to tell you. Go play it again.
Might be an angry, yelly man on the internet.
And look, I get it. There's a bunch of stuff about, like, you know, the dangers of trusting too much in religion and cover-ups and, you know,
and the church tends to be really bad towards women.
Right. All that stuff is in there too. But, like, my guy, come on. You know what this is actually about, right?
Werewolf Time is a good one. Monthly subscription is a good one.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Right? You can see there's an issue here. But then you don't stop there. Where are you going?
I love how he's like, there's an issue here. No, there's an issue for you. Normal people don't face this issue, Laurence. Normal people don't feel like if there was no global flood, then that is going to make their entire worldview collapse. That's not a normal thing for Christians or non-Christians. Raptor Shaped Earth, who's been a member for 45 months, says, I don't get it. Girls, if you don't like periods, just don't have them. Do what makes you happy. Heart, heart with a JK. Yeah, I heard that if it's a legitimate period, your body has a way of shutting that down. That's what I heard. I'm sorry. Look, I suggested like a year ago that you just replace your uterus with data storage, and you still haven't done it.
I'm still waiting on the ability to do that.
Oh, okay. You haven't talked to any surgeons yet?
No.
Oh, well, that's whose fault is that?
It's considered an elective surgery, so I'd have to pay for it.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that is rough. But hey, it might be experimental, which might mean you get a little bit of a subsidy from the researchers.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe I can convince them to pay me to do it instead.
There you go.
I'm pretty convincing.
Let's see. Pegajace, the Darwin mythicist, for $5 says, Yubnub or Victory Celebration end title? The Victory Celebration end title is what I was going for. And specifically, I mean the one from like the enhanced special edition or whatever we're calling it, where like there were like shots of Coruscant and whatnot. Because I feel like that one... Look, I don't like most of the changes in the enhanced editions, but I actually do think that the addition of the scenes from extra planets at the end of the Return of the Jedi is an okay change. I'm fine with that one. I don't like most of the other changes, but that one I'm like, it shows a bit more of like the scale of the celebration across the galaxy, and I appreciate that because the Star Wars galaxy is a big place. So, yeah. In fact, according to the Star Wars Legends stuff, it's like 20% bigger than the Milky Way or something like that. So... yeah.
Stop. How about Tower of Babel? No Tower of Babel.
Well, yeah. I mean, we know where languages originated, and it's not all of them in the Middle East. Some of them, maybe, yeah, but not all of them. Like we have a pretty good idea that the Indo-European languages started somewhere around like the Black Sea. Which
every time
isn't the Middle
we
East.
hit play, I lose brain cells.
Well, that's because Laurence is very, very dumb, and you're not used to listening to creationists. To be fair.
Yeah, creationists aren't my usual. I'm here once a month, and then I get smacked in the face. And by the time like the month rolls around, I've forgotten how ridiculous this is. And then Tisdall comes here and he slaps me in the face with his balls.
Well, to be fair, he hasn't done that since the previous video. Technically, because we haven't seen his balls at all since then. Yeah.
Technically.
Lieutenant Matt the Navigator for $5 says, I heard that Todd Aiken's body has a way of shutting down legitimate prostate cancer. Ooh.
Oof. Got him.
Get wrecked. All right. For $1.99, Roshna says, where is Earth? Earth is in the Sagittarius arm of the Milky Way, which is a place that Han Solo went to in one of the comic books.
Earth is where you, in your heart, where you go.
Could be that too. Also, I love that the name of the planet is literally just dirt.
I like that the name of the planet is literally just dirt. I also like that Pleakley calls it Earth.
That is a good one.
It's a good one.
Yeah. Thank you, Parrot. Would you like a cracker? I'll take that as, I was gonna say I'll take that as yes. No, cheese is bad for birds.
But I'm a goblin.
Well, then stop acting like a parrot.
No.
Huh?
In fact, you're going to go all the way to Abraham before you're going to start saying it's real history.
No, I'm not. I'm going to go way past Abraham, buddy. I'm going until at least the exile before I start saying it's reasonably okay. That's okay. Look, I say Josiah, but that's not really fair, right? Like we have a lot of evidence for some of the kings pre-exile, like Jehoiakim and like his son and like the few generations before that. But like my guy, I'm going until after Solomon at the very earliest before I start saying things are like reasonably historical. And the only exception I'm making to that is like Balaam from Exodus, and like there probably was a David. That's about it. That's about all I got. Yeah. Now, could there have been a Samson who was a big warrior who helped defeat Philistines? Yeah, I don't know. Sure, maybe there was. Like I can't rule that out. That seems plausible. But like, was the Book of Judges broadly telling historically accurate stories? No. Some of the names might be of real people.
Nobody reads Judges. Shut up.
I read Judges. There's some cool stuff in there. There's a guy who pushes down an entire building with his bare hands. That's cool. That's like some Marvel comic shit.
Yeah, but nobody actually reads it. Everybody just picks a couple of stories out of it and then they watch VeggieTales.
Well, I mean, VeggieTales is amazing, so I don't blame them.
VeggieTales was amazing.
Okay,
we saw what happened to it on
true.
Netflix.
We did. We watched the Netflix VeggieTales together, and it was atrocious.
It was atrocious.
Look, it wasn't atrocious. It was atrocious compared to what came before.
It was bad.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. It's disappointing what happened in VeggieTales. OG
very
VeggieTales
upsetting.
was excellent. Also, I don't know if you guys know this, but like the creator of OG VeggieTales has been being based for a few years now, like pretty damn
really?
based. Oh yeah, he's been like, hey, Christians out there, maybe stop being dicks to like LGBTQ people, and maybe don't do a fascism and stuff. And like,
I'm so happy I'm allowed to keep liking VeggieTales.
Yeah,
like old
like,
VeggieTales. Hooray!
When it comes to like people who made like Christian media, not only is VeggieTales some of the best of it, but like the guy who made it has been pretty consistently awesome. So like, go watch VeggieTales, OG VeggieTales. That's my recommendation.
You know, I was a puppeteer once.
I did not know that.
I was a puppeteer once. I only say that because Zhang brought up in the chat that VeggieTales was the only thing I enjoyed about going to church. Yeah, VeggieTales was great. I didn't make VeggieTales stuff, but if you were in the kids area when I was there at my church, I was a puppeteer, and I did so many cool puppets and puppet voices and puppet plays. Like proper big felt puppets, like Muppet style puppets.
That's pretty cool. Why aren't you doing that on YouTube?
Because if I did it on YouTube, I would literally just make a parody of Statler and Waldorf. I mean, that's all I would be doing. Oh,
you say that like it's a problem.
The whole thing.
All right.
I don't know. I don't own any puppets anymore. I used to have a really cool puppet that was like a big fuzzy yellow bird type thing. I love that thing.
All right. 1 in the chat if Chess should do her own version of Muppets on YouTube. 2 in the chat if that's cringe and she shouldn't.
You guys want me to make a new channel just with puppets and I can make puppets? I can do that.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. I can make the puppet. I could probably make the puppets themselves on stream. If you guys want to see like the process of making a puppet.
That would be so cool. I would watch that. All right, here we go.
No.
You've taken off the foundation. Remember Psalms 11:3 last night?
Guy.
I don't remember Psalms 11 whatever. You know why I don't remember Psalms 11 whatever there, Laurence? It's because it's Psalm 11 whatever. It's the book of Psalms. Each one is a psalm. Look, I feel like I don't have terribly high standards when it comes to biblical citations, right? Like
you expect a little bit better than KJV get title.
Right. But like, my guy, it's Revelation, and it's the book of Psalms, of which is composed of 150 psalms, each of which is a psalm. And also, yeah, don't come at me about like, well, Dapper, in some Eastern churches, there's a 151st psalm, and they also have different numbers. I know that. You don't have to tell me. I get it. I have plenty of experience with different versions of Christianity and what's in their Bibles. I get it. But still, it's Psalm 111, not Psalms 111. It's not a chapter in Psalms. It is a psalm in the book of Psalms. Cite it right. I'm taking a drink because I just hate it so much.
I'm just honored by all the ones in the chat. All right, well, everybody who put a 1 in the chat needs to go subscribe to my channel.
Yeah, go do that. Although
I will do the puppets.
There's a pretty fair chance that a lot of them are already subscribed.
Yeah, but I stand by my statement.
That's fair.
I saw a lot of people doing ones that are names that I recognize from here, but I've never seen in my chat.
How dare you?
I know.
Yeah.
Or them?
No, them. Although, to be fair,
okay.
Say, like,
I'm just making sure.
The stuff you do here is pretty different from the stuff you do there, and I can see that there might be some people who are like, well, I like the science and this debunking, but like talking about like but
they all want puppets.
But they all want puppets,
so
right?
Right. So if they all go subscribed, I'll go do puppets. So then they'll get exactly what they were expecting.
Chesh's felt budget is going to have to go up so much.
Yo, I'm going to have to buy so much felt.
And googly eyes. I have to buy googly eyes.
I will do it.
Nice.
I'll do it. I
You
believe
know,
in
you probably know some people who could do some voice acting for you.
I do, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Allegedly.
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
In fact, also, I might be looking for voice actors in the intermediate future because I had a really cool idea while I was high. And then I looked at it while I wasn't high, and I was like, you know what? That remains a good idea. So
It's nice when you look at your idea and it's still good.
yeah. Look, I have a lot
It's
of ideas.
really nice when that happens. That doesn't always happen.
When I get a little high, I have some ideas, and not all of them are good ideas, but sometimes they're really good ideas. And this one, I think, was a really good idea. And I'll tell you what, if we get to the super chat goal, I will also describe the really good idea that I had. So
Okay. Sounds good.
What do the righteous do when the foundations perish? So the Southern Presbyterians said,
you're not going to tell us what the righteous do when the foundations perish? You're just going to leave that hanging? Okay, thanks, Laurence.
I like that somebody in the
Jeez.
chat asked what Chesh's channel is called. It's just Chesh.
Very
Goblin
easy to
Queen
find.
Chesh, though, if you're really looking for it that hard.
Yeah. Hey, if one of my mods could put the link in the chat, I would really appreciate it.
I could do that.
but
I'm a mod. That's
But you're
me.
busy. You're watching the video with me.
That's true.
But yeah, you absolutely could, and I would absolutely be fine with that.
You're not gonna get me in trouble for spamming my own link in your chat. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe if you do it. Okay, maybe do it a little bit less than that next time. a little bit less.
All right.
Oh, for 50 Polish Lodi, Pat O Logic says, for the felt budget. Thank you very much. That's awesome. Thank you. So yeah, we're getting close. I might end up describing to you what I would need voice actors for, and it wouldn't just be voice acting, but a lot of it would be voice acting. So
Thank you very much, everybody. This would be fun. All right, I'll start working on this.
nice.
no, we believe exactly what Genesis says. What's the result 100 years later? The Northern Presbyterians are a social club.
What's wrong with being a social club? I like social clubs.
Yeah, what's wrong with that? Isn't one of the biggest arguments about religion being allowed to, exist in societies that it's really good socially and for being basically a club?
Yeah, basically, it's like pro-social.
Yeah.
The Southern Presbyterians developed evangelism explosion and have brought over 22 million people to the Lord.
I'm sorry, but I don't value religions based on how many people have joined them.
Yeah.
In fact, there are plenty of religions out there that are
silly.
gigantic that I wish really, really weren't.
Yeah.
So, and
Sometimes bigger is not better.
yeah.
Quality, quantity,
Yeah. If I had to choose to live in a world, it would be in a world where many of the more progressive versions of Christianity that might be numerically smaller would predominate over the currently larger but regressive and harmful versions of Christianity. And I know that they can get better because they have in the past, right? Like there are virtually no Christian denominations which have like pro-slavery as one of their official planks. Yeah, that's new. Many Christian denominations in the United States started because the people who started them wanted to have the pro-slavery version of their denomination. And so they split off from the people who wanted to not do that. Hey, Southern Baptists, looking at you. But you're not the only ones. Far from it. All right.
Be better.
Yeah.
We're not asking a lot.
We're really not. Just
Nope.
look at the ways in which you're hurting people and don't do that.
And also that you just try to be a little bit decent.
That's a big ask, but yeah, please. Lieutenant Matt the Navigator for $5 says, Tisdall doesn't like when religion acts like a social club. He likes it being used as a club against people he doesn't like. Yeah,
That's a good point. Yeah. Wrong kind of club,
Yeah.
I guess.
that's a big part of what's going on here. I can't say that you're wrong there. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back.
I'm going to get more tea.
Yeah, more tea. Or just a cup full of gin.
You want me to puke on your stream instead of my own?
I mean, you didn't even puke on your own. You just fell out of your chair. And then you puked later, but when you were off stream.
No, I definitely puked on stream.
Oh, yeah, you did. I forgot about that. Yeah. I did forget. I mean, if you can do it without people noticing, then yeah, go for it.
I can absolutely do it without people noticing. I'm just that good at it.
Well, then yes, I do want that, actually.
Why?
Have you not figured out how this works? You come here and I make you suffer.
Oh, that's true.
That's what
you
happens.
You make a good point.
Yeah.
That's fair.
It's like Chesh forgot the entire premise. It's like, well, this is like a Young Earth Creationism debunking. No, it's a Chesh
No,
suffer
it's a Chesh
stream.
suffer stream.
Yeah. Get
Yeah.
it right.
Sorry, my bad.
It is your bad. All right.
I'll go get a giant cup of gin.
I didn't say a giant. I just said a cup of gin.
It's gonna be giant to me. I'm tiny.
Well, just get a thimble, and it will be like a tumbler for anyone else.
Oh.
Yeah, because, by the way, in case you guys don't know, Chesh struggles to get to, like, non-disabled height. I'm literally right about that, by the way.
It's literally true.
Yep. In fact, my guess is that, like, 15 years from now... 15 years from now, Chesh will get will be able to qualify for a disabled parking placard because of small.
17?
Because of small.
Because of small.
Yep. Chesh is just too small. She can't walk far.
Too small. I'm not allowed to participate. My little legs.
You won't be able to ride any of the rides. All the rides are like, you must be this high. Chesh can't do it.
I can't go. The people are, oh, you want to go to Wonderland? Wonderland's great. I'm like, I can't ride anything. They don't let me on. You know that I was so small in high school that they wouldn't let me donate blood during the big high school blood donation because I was too small?
I didn't know that, but that's awesome.
You're getting all the Chesh lore today. I was a puppeteer. I couldn't donate blood. I could do it now just because I'm old enough to tell them to do it anyway, not because I got any bigger.
Chesh just passes out in the chair while giving blood.
Have
to give her back her own blood or she stays unconscious.
Yeah.
Put it back! Put it back!
They just like take the tube out and just go.
Chesh gets extra cookies. She deserves it.
Yay!
All right, we're gonna actually take a break here. We'll be back in just a minute.
Bestie, you are the puppet. Yo, I'm such a Muppet, man. You don't even know.
All right, we'll be back in just a minute, everybody. Next time on Star Trek Endurance.
Security Officer's Log, Stardate 60672.8. The Kongzi is docked at Narendra Station for secondary warp core replacement, after we ejected it in an attempt to save the USS Ontario. I have been temporarily assigned to station security by Admiral Herbert. Apparently there has been a theft from a locker in one of the archaeology labs. Some Tilical artifacts from Alpha Tauri 2 have been stolen and I am in charge of the investigation. Of course the captain has made the crew of the Kongzi available to assist me and the Admiral, and she is anticipating the new warp core will be operational in a matter of hours. The theft of such important artifacts directly from under the noses of both Starfleet and the Klingon Defense Force is troubling. Hopefully, I can get to the bottom of this and the culprits will be brought to justice. Ideally, including the return of the artifacts. Tilical technology is extremely dangerous, and having it in the wrong hands could spell disaster for the sector.
Discovering the identity of the culprit does not prove to be particularly difficult for a security officer as skilled as Tech, but finding them out in the Shackleton Expanse is another matter. If they find the perpetrator, that will be the least of their worries, as the stolen technology proves to be as dangerous as Tack feared, and it is most certainly in the wrong hands. Can the crew catch up with the thief and recover the artifacts before disaster strikes? Find out next time in The Orion Heist, only on the Top Hats Off channel. Hello, everybody. We are back. Let's see. Raptor-shaped Earth for 100 Argentinian pesos says, fun fact, disability quite literally means skill issue. So, Chesh, you are pretty close to having a skill issue due too small.
I'm only off by like half an inch.
Well, I'm sure that when you get older, you'll meet it. You'll be able to get a little placard.
Thanks.
It'll be great.
Big creesh.
Yeah. All right. So first we'll get through the little commercial bit real fast. Then we'll do a little treat for everyone, and then we'll be back to Laurence Tisdall. So, as you guys know, this channel, or maybe you don't, but this channel is almost entirely funded directly by people who are super chatting, who are joining the Patreon, joining the channel memberships, gifting memberships, and stuff like that. And that stuff is incredibly important, especially because, well, stats-wise, it's been a bit of a rough. It's been a little rough. I don't want to give a time frame there because I'm not exactly sure where to put it. Things have been getting a little less rough last few days, but still, it's one of those things where, like, when I say I'd like to do this as long as possible, I could calculate a time at which, if things don't turn around, that's going to stop being a thing, right? But ultimately, it won't stop being a thing as long as I can afford to keep doing it. And you guys are the reason that I can afford to do it at all. So, if you are someone who is currently liking what I do, but you're not currently supporting financially, and you can both afford to and would like to, please check the description for the Patreon. Maybe join the channel. Both of those are great. Also, super chats, memberships. Yeah. Super stickers, super thanks, all those stuff. Really big, important part of that. So, yeah, please do those things. That's where I'm going to leave it there. Lieutenant Math Navigator has gifted 5 Dapper Dinosaur memberships. So thank you very much on that. And also, Roshina for 199 says, treat? Is Dapper showing feet? You see my feet in virtually every one of my scripted videos and on camera right now. They're right there. I don't know what showing you them more would do. This is a very, very strange request. It's like, Dapper, why don't you show me some part of you that you show in virtually every video?
Are you asking for my feet instead?
We've all seen your feet, Chesh.
My feet are adorable.
I mean, maybe for human feet. All right, so here's what we're actually...
Goblin feet.
Okay, fair. Like, goblins, humans, they all look the same to me. All right, here's what we're doing. I'm going to read the email that I'm about to send James, and I'm going to send it here live on air. This is from my email. This is from my work email. So, by the way, do know that if you send me email to my work email, it is not private. If I feel the need to, I will share it. So yeah. If you feel like, well, how would I send you a private message to your email, to your personal email? I don't have that. Yeah, if you don't have that, that's because I don't want you to send me private emails. If I do want you to send me private emails, I'll give you an email address that you can send private emails to. Not even Chesh has that email address. So, there you go. Sorry, Chesh. She's over it. Anyway, I'm currently forgetting that people can't see you this moment. So I'm acting like people can see your gestures, and like they can't. Anyway.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was rolling my eyes and putting my hand up like whatever.
Yeah. Oh, Roshina for 199 clarifies disembodied feet. Ah, okay. I at least understand that. But it's also weird and like no. And then for let's see, for 200 Argentinian pesos, Raptor Shaped Earth says closing quote mark from last chat. Okay, fair. Also, because Chesh will like it, Greek words phallos, AIG, and phalaina, whale, both come from Proto-Indo-European vel, whales divided into toothed whales, showers, and baleen whales, growers. There we go. Thank you very much.
I do like that.
And we'll take a drink. Okay.
Thank you.
This is to me from Modern Day Debate. Hi, Dapper. I hope you're well. Would you possibly be up for a debate with Made by Jim Bob on, quote, evolution on trial, end quote, potentially this Friday at 9 p.m. ET? In any case, thanks for considering, and I hope you're well. James Kuhn, PhD, then a link to his Modern Day Debate channel and his LinkedIn. So that's the email I received last night at 11:01 p.m. my time. which I'm not criticizing James for the time. Like, whatever, it's email, right? Send it when you can. This is my response. And I want to point out that in the following response, I have written one word. Oh, that's not entirely accurate. I guess I've written one sentence and then one additional word. Dear James, you hosted an open white supremacists and Christian nationalists like Nick Fuentes and Richard Spencer, treating their vile bigotry as if it is something of equal merit and can be debated and reasoned with, rather than the very ideology which is directly targeting and brutalizing the most marginalized among us, which I spelled wrong, so I'll fix that now. Here we go. This is how you know it's real. Which is why I disrespectfully decline the invitation to debate Jim Bob. Your repeated platforming of fascist grifters and anti-intellectual speaks to how you truly view these issues, since they do not impact you directly. They are mere thought experiments. You do not care about the people who get hurt because of racism, misogyny, homophobia, or any other prejudice. You hold none of those identities, so this is just abstract to you. Fodder for your psychology degree with no care as to the ramifications. You enrich yourself off AdSense, revenue, and super chats, Patreon too, while giving a free platform to the most toxic racist fascists since 1940s Germany. It's deeply selfish, unethical, and materially harmful. Your channel is a circus of 4chan trolls, self-absorbed anti-theists, and xenophobes. It contributes nothing other than rage bait and sensationalism. No one in the audience is swayed through rational discourse, and modern day debate, since modern day debate does not promote rational discourse. Modern day debate is a neo-Nazi bar, and you remain completely blind or willfully ignorant of that fact. There is also a chance you secretly revel in giving a megaphone to actual confessing white supremacists while maintaining a guise of meek both-sidism. Look for enablers elsewhere. With disgust, Dapper Dinosaur. P.S. I asked my Discord what I should say in response, and they came up with this. Dear James, thank you for your email regarding a debate on Friday. Unfortunately, I cannot appear on a platform that has hosted open racists and white supremacists such as Nick Fuentes or Richard Spencer, well-known involuntary participant in the Punch a Nazi debate. They carry with them a digital virus that is very dangerous to ceratosauruses such as myself, and I have too much respect for my human audience to pass that plague along to them. I lament declining the opportunity to show up creationists in a battle of wits, especially those who come fully unarmed. However, Ceratosaurus plagues aside, you and your show makes those with standards feel icky inside. You and every bigot that you platform are all even more disgusting than the most disgusting pelagic tunicates. If you wish to attract a group of participants with higher standards, it may behoove you to stop being a sack filled with phalluses. In summary, get bent. This message was approved by Pope of Linguists. Also, there is a graph of fucks I give over time, going from 100 all the way down to 0 over time. Then, at times like this, it is best to remember the wisdom of TISM. Andy Warhol got it right, everybody gets the limelight. Andy Warhol got it wrong, 15 minutes is too long. The number of :3s and its variants listed here don't even begin to describe the number of ways I wish to tell you to go fuck yourself. With just so many of them. Kindly see the attached graph of depicting my impression of modern day debate over time. It's very insightful and handy for more visual learners. Subscribe to Gutsick Gibbon, praise the Omnissiah, Dapper Dinosaur, professional non-linguist, and Pope of Linguistics. Then, this response was generated by ChatGPT, chat group to participation transposition, as Dapper Dinosaur did not, in fact, feel like wasting his breath on those who waste the molecules that make them up. Followed by Charlie Kirk Mpreg, Zoran Mamdani with a SYBAU broken heart and a trans flag, and then someone named Christoph Thomas tweeting, thinking about the time Gavin McInnes, the founder of Proud Boys, stuck a dildo up his ass on live TV and and I quote, own the libs, along with a picture of said event. And here we go. Sent. Thank you very much for your attention to this matter, everybody. We're back on camera.
Yay! Not quite what I would have said. I will say that I did not participate in the authorship of this, but it's probably better. Because, I would have a hard time justifying myself to not say yes, and then just porn bomb him and get his channel taken down.
I mean...
Don't invite me, James. I'll ruin your entire channel on purpose.
I didn't even think about doing that, which shows how much more creative that Chesh is really what happened there.
I'm gonna drop another F-bomb for a second.
Yeah, I'll let it happen this one time.
Fuck them.
There you go. All right.
Thanks.
Well, now that we've had that, we are ready to go. I'm not sure we're going to get either of the super chat goals, but I'm hoping, because I would like to read some of English as She Is Spoke, because it's a lot of fun. In fact, it's more fun than Laurence, really. But hey.
I mean,
That's how important I believe the age question is. Okay?
Okay.
okay.
Uniformitarian geology, it's the most effective weapon ever launched against the Word of God.
Weird then that most geologists are not uniformitarians and in fact are actualists, which is a position that recognizes that while most geological processes are the result of relatively slow and steady processes, that in fact sometimes catastrophic processes do in fact happen and cause a large effect on the earth in various places. So I mean, if you're complaining about uniformitarianism, you're complaining about a form of geology that has not really been the dominant form of geology in nearly a century.
If you look at Luther, Finney, and Calvin,
Why would I? I'm just going to take a drink for the idea that maybe I should
Who
look
and
at
why?
3 Protestant theologians so that I can learn about geology.
Mm.
Yeah. I definitely want to look at John Calvin for my geology lessons.
these were important people.
I mean, maybe if you're Laurence Tisdall, they're important. For most people, it's a who?
By the way, if you do want to have an actual debate and discussion that's actually worth a damn, come to Debate Hub.
Chesh's other channel. Which, Chesh,
Yeah.
why don't you put that, like, I don't know, once or twice in the chat?
All right, I won't spam this one.
Okay. Oh, and I was just asked to share James' response if I get one. Well, first of all, I don't expect to get one. But also, I mean, yeah. Why would I not do that?
But also, duh.
Right? Like, come on, guys.
Of course.
Obviously.
But Lyell came up with this idea.
What, you're not going to call Lyell an important person? So John Calvin is important. The guy who came up with tulip. Which is so unimportant that most of my audience probably doesn't know what tulip is in this context, because it's not the flower. Okay.
I don't.
See? So that guy's important, but Lyell, the father of modern geology, that guy's not important?
No, because he's a geologist, not doing
Right.
doing enough Christian.
He's not pointing out how totally depraved Chesh is, which, you know, I mean, fair. She is totally depraved. John Calvin was right about that.
No, yeah.
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 And that went against what Luther and Finney and Calvin were saying. The present is the key to the past. And this is all.
Yeah, that's called science, Laurence. I need you to understand this, right? When we come to a crime scene and we find things like blood splatter and footprints and, like, you know, different kinds of wounds on a victim and whatnot, right? And we decide to say, hey, based on our experiments about how all these things work, we're going to try to make conclusions about what happened at this crime scene. That is, the present is the key to the past, right? The present is the key to the past is just a restating of the basic assumption that empiricism works, which is the foundational principle of all of science, right? Can you collect data right now and use that to interpret data that you will collect in the future? Whether that data is about the past or the future. If the answer is no, all of science doesn't work. Nothing in science is worth anything if the answer is no.
My God,
If
please.
the answer is yes, then science works and we can use it to do things like solve crimes, make technology, and build cool things.
He's using a microphone. He's using a laptop. This is being transmitted on the internet.
Yep.
So we know that science works currently and proactively as opposed to reactively, and you still also are relying on portions of science to even try to put together the puzzle that Tisdall is trying to put together.
Yep. But hey, what if instead we just say that science doesn't work while still using all the various advantages that modern science has given us? What if we did that instead? This is something I'm going to start really trying to drive home, is the degree to which creationists don't want science to exist. They don't think it's a valid human endeavor, even the ones who pretend to be scientists. Because every time they're like, well, I don't know, this present is the key to the past, or how can we know what happened in the past based on present experience? Yeah, what you're saying is that empiricism is bullshit, and we shouldn't pay attention to empiricism. But that's all of science. Literally all of it. All right, Prixie Purple for $5 says, I finally caught up to the stream. Thanks, Skip and his stupid Hebrew class. Hey, I really want to know Dapper's amazing ideas, and also email 10 out of 10. I am glad that you liked it. I wrote virtually none of it. So, yeah.
His contribution to it was the spelling corrections.
No, I added one word to a part that Vishanti wrote, and then I corrected the spelling. And then I also wrote I wrote, Dear James, thank you for your email regarding a debate on Friday. And then I wrote, regards, Dapper Dinosaur, but that got changed to, praise the Omnissiah, which I approve of. Because if there's one religion that we here at Dapper Dinosaur support, it is the Cult Mechanicus.
The Cult Mechanicus is pretty cool. I also like my own personal religion, which is the Great Mycelium Network. Thank you very much.
That's pretty neat, but is it going to replace my failing flesh with the strength and certainty of steel?
Not even a little
Yeah,
bit.
see, Cult Mechanicus for the win on that one.
That's fair.
But the present cannot be the key to the past. It's the Bible that's the key to the past.
Guys,
What?
Lawrence has a book.
Is the Bible not in the present?
Lawrence has a book, guys. Just like Ken Ham, he's got a book.
He's got a book!
I'm going to take a drink for how dumb that is.
Oh, wow, that was really dumb.
I want you guys to understand. It seems pretty obvious, but maybe you're not paying attention. What Laurence just said is, no matter how much reality disagrees with the Bible, no matter how obviously wrong the Bible may or may not be, he's going to stick with the Bible and not pay attention to things like evidence, rationality, or reason. Those are things he does not want anything to do with. He just told you. The present,
That was just really, really dumb.
Yep, because he doesn't like empiricism. Empiricism is for losers.
Okay, but then just stop relying on it. I guess.
Oh, I was about to spill the beans on the why I might need voice actors, but I realized we're not at either of the super chat goals. So help us out.
No.
Because I would really like to spill the beans on that. If I'm being honest, I think
he
it's
really
cool.
wants to tell everybody.
I do, but then I like hamstringed myself by making it tied to the super chats.
You can hear by how excited his voice sounds every time it comes up.
Guys, of all the high ideas that I ever had, this is definitely one of the peak ones. This is one of the best ones.
This is one of the highest?
Oh yeah, definitely.
But this is why I get invited. See, this is what I mean. This is where the puppets come up and go, oh!
Good point.
Present, there's been catastrophes. Worldwide flood is going to change things really quick.
Okay, so a couple things. Yes, there have been catastrophes. That's why actualism is now the dominant form of like interpretive lens for geology. Yeah, that's true.
Ideas.
Also,
that's so good, Zeralon.
We do happen to know what a global flood would look like as a catastrophe, and we don't see that thing. All right, we got a couple things here. Grasslands Enthusiast for $10 dues says, I had no idea science was about destroying the word of God. Yeah, it's because it's not.
News to you.
Here I thought it
You're
was
welcome.
Here I thought it was about understanding the natural world. Clearly, my professor skipped over the secret agenda. Well, I mean, yeah, because then you would be in on it, and they want to keep that tight, close to the chest. Joshua Geese for $4,000. Sorry, Joshua Geese $4,900, not for $4,900, which is what I was about to say. Which I mean, you know, if you wanted to give me $4,900, I take it. Anyway, for $5 says for the beans. Thank you very much. Also,
for the beans.
No one person should give me $4,000 for anything that I'm doing right now. Please don't do that.
One person should absolutely give me $4,000.
Yeah, give it to Chesh. She needs it.
Give it to me. Yeah, I do. Yeah. I need it for things and stuff.
For felt.
And felt.
Yeah, she's going to spend at least $4,000 on felt. It's going to be high quality felt made from Tibetan yaks.
Listen.
I just made that. I don't even know if you can make felt out of Tibetan yaks.
I don't know, but if somebody sends me $4,000, I will make my own felt. I'll figure it out.
You're gonna sit
And
there
I'll
with
do
a
it on
spin.
screen.
Guys, for $4,000, Chesh will get her own spinning wheel, and she'll spin.
Yeah.
She'll spin some thread.
I will make felt.
So actually, no, I don't even know if a spinning wheel is how you make felt. I know.
I have
very
no
little.
idea how you make felt.
Yeah.
I'll guess.
With your luck, it'll be like that guy who tried to make a chicken sandwich from scratch and it cost him like 12 grand, but all you got was the 4 grand, and now you're stuck with it.
Ah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to say I'm going to succeed, but I will certainly try.
Oh, okay, so she's going to try to make felt, because that's not actually what you said. You said, I will make felt, which does mean that you will succeed.
Well, I'll try for a really, really long time.
In Goblin, that's like 3 days at least.
At least.
Babel's going to change things. The fall of man. Remember, roses didn't. They all of a sudden have thorns.
What?
Buddy, I gotta let you know, the Tower of Babel wouldn't show up in the geological record, even if it were true.
What is this guy on about?
It's the Bible. He's just pointing out Bible stories. Like, according to the Bible, there were no thorns before the fall, even though, here's the thing about that. Animals were eating plants before the fall, according to the Bible, which means that plants would have mechanisms to prevent that before the fall. So,
every rose has its thorns.
Thank you. Just don't go too far, because then we might get a copyright claim. Which,
You think I'm that good?
I don't.
Thank
okay,
you.
I'll say this. A number of my episodes of my Power Rangers TTRPG actual play on Top Hats Off, my second channel, have copyright claims as a result of Bent's cover of the Power Rangers theme song.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me. Ben's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, Bent's cover of that song was good enough to get me my copyright claims on like all those episodes. Not quite all of them, but most of them. So good job, Bent.
Good job, Ben.
Guys, next time you see Bent, tell him good job. But don't tell him why
Good
you said
job.
that. Just tell him good job. And if he asks, say, oh, you know why.
Agriculture becomes much more difficult. Many things change at the fall.
Renee Reborn over and over and over for $5 says, felt is unspun, unwoven fabric. Oh, there you go. It's not too hard, assuming you can avoid stabbing yourself with the felting needles. I have no faith in Chesh's ability to
I'm going to
not
make
stab
some
herself.
really bloody felt.
Yeah. All your Muppet characters are going to be kind of a reddish brown.
They're all going to have like a little bit of a stain on them. Questionable stain.
The murder puppets. Joshua Geese for $5 says, come on, everyone knows every rose has its thorns. Damn it, Chesh beat me to it.
Yeah!
Good job, Chesh. You did it.
I did it.
We succeeded, everybody.
Hooray.
All right.
So the present can't be the key to the past.
Okay,
But
Laurence.
that's what Lyell said, Charles Lyell.
Yes.
And look what he said also.
Okay.
He said this.
Oh.
I had conceived of the idea 5 or 6 years ago that if ever the Mosaic chronology could be set down without giving, set down, that means put away with, without giving offense, it would be in a historical sketch. That's very old English, but what he's saying here, he said, if I could create a story.
Dude, it's the 19th century. It's not that old, but okay.
Sure.
Look, I'm taking a drink because that was a dumb thing to say, but I also recognize that I'm the weirdo who took Old English and history of the English language in college, so maybe my perspective is skewed, but I'm taking a drink anyway because I like to drink. Although, I don't know if you guys know this, but I don't actually drink very often except on the live shows. Like most weeks, I don't have a single drop of alcohol except during the live shows. But
yeah, because if you did, you'd be roasty toasty.
Oh yeah,
all the time.
But I have people who like message me like, "Oh, are you drinking?" I'm like, "No." Why would you? It's like, well,
why are people messaging you asking if you're drinking? What? Who? Why?
Sometimes I say something stupid. It's not, and to be fair, it's not just like randos from like chat, right? It's not that you're randos, but like
randos from chat.
But like sometimes it's like, you know, like people who I know in my personal life who are also aware of how these shows work, like friends from like college and whatnot. And
okay.
Were you drinking? I'm like, no. Were you drink on all those shows? I'm like, yeah, on the shows. Do I have a show today? No. So I'm not drinking.
No.
Not that I
Not
never do,
today.
but like, yeah, not normally.
Satan.
It's weird. I really do. Also, that I had a friend from college once who said, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm playing the games and I'm having a what is it? A Coke with a dash of bitters." And she's like,
Yep.
"I don't know if you should be drinking right now." And I'm like, "It's a dash of bitters. There's
What are you talking about?
there's less than a single drop of alcohol in that." It's like,
That's
"Oh, I guess I just didn't know what bitters was." It's like,
well, that happens
okay.
sometimes. It's okay to be wrong.
yeah. But she's sitting here like, that seems like a lot of alcohol. I'm like, it's like none. It's almost none. You get more alcohol from a loaf of bread.
Next to zero.
Right? But by the way, I actually do like cola with a dash of bitters. It's pretty good. And no, you can't get drunk off of that. Actually, one time in the Navy, there was a Super Bowl.
In the Navy?
Yep.
You have to say it like that.
And they gave it.
I heard it.
I don't have to do that. But anyway, they gave us O'Doul's.
Maybe it's just a me thing.
O'Doul's non-alcoholic beer, right? Which technically has a tiny bit of alcohol in it, right? Because there's no way to remove literally all of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was in the reactor department with a bunch of other nukes, right? So we decided to sit down during the Super Bowl and figure out how many O'Doul's you would have to drink to get drunk. And the answer was that it would have to significantly exceed like your entire body volume, which meant it was physically impossible to do that. So, yeah, because some of us were like, if there's a number that's reasonable, I'm going to do it. I'm going to drink that many O'Doul's. But the answer is no. Like, you would literally burst open from filling too much of your stomach with liquid and bursting it before you could get drunk off of O'Doul's. So...
that's a lot.
Yeah. Well, there's very little alcohol in it.
You keep saying O'Doul's and my brain keeps going, O'Doyle rules. That's where my brain is at today, everybody. Thank you. Thank you for playing.
I mean, look, I think we're both a little bit brain fried today.
Oh, brother. Send help.
All right, we got a few super chats here. Grasslands Enthusiast for $5 redo says, you can use hot and cold water to felt too. No needles required. Yeah, but Chesh would burn herself.
I'm doomed regardless. Thank you for trying, though.
If there's a way that Chesh can injure herself, there's a pretty good chance she's going to injure herself. That's just how it goes.
It's true. I have a really weird bruise on my leg that is looks like 4 dots in like a diamond shape. I don't know what that's from.
Chesh, do you need body armor?
Probably.
All right, guys. If we can get $5,000 in super chats, I'll buy Chesh some body armor.
Cool.
Yeah. It'll just be like football pads from like American football.
Could you send me hockey pads instead?
Yeah, okay, that's fine. That's a good compromise.
Thanks.
Let's see. Templar Warden for 10. These are Kiwi bucks. There we go. Things that don't exist in the Bible. Microphones, cars, electronics, airplanes, Canada, the UK, French, English, and the individual Laurence Tisdall. Yet I don't see him ceasing to exist. Good point. Laurence,
oh, man.
Really, you should cease to exist if you were being fair.
If you were being fair.
Also, I'm just now looking at the freeze frame, and it looks disturbingly like he's in front of a green screen, even though I know he's definitely not.
Yeah, that's wacky.
Yeah. I know it's just a weird forced perspective thing, and the fact that the projector is probably way above him, but I don't like it. Anyway, Lieutenant Math Navigator for $5 says, deplorable ilk, randos from chat, everybody's making fun of us now. Yeah, you guys did get called deplorable ilk by Gunter Beckley, noted murderer. So, what?
Yeah.
He murdered someone.
Well, it's,
I mean, it wasn't first degree murder, but it was still murder.
Spagurter?
Oh, full spagurter.
Spagurter.
Let's see. I gotta wait for my thing to fill up because your name is too long. Oh wait, Rando from chat. There we go. Argent for 100 Argentinian pesos. I completely believe that that Chesh could lose a limb and not remember what could have caused that.
Yes.
Chesh just shows up at the hospital like, my arm fell off. Like, what do you mean your arm
I don't know what
fell off?
happened.
One day I had my arm and then the next day I didn't. Can you put it back?
Please?
Yeah.
I need it for activities.
We know what you need it for, and it's disgusting. Lieutenant Matt's Navigator for
Activities.
$5 says, look, there's a reason French isn't in the Bible, and it's not temporal discontinuity. But why
This
is
man comes out here and says stuff like that, then gets mad at me for making this stream not monetizable.
Did I do that?
It's nonsense.
I didn't say anything non-monetizable.
I didn't say you did.
Okay. Also, someone in my comments asked me the other day, what's Ultra French? So I sent that guy or gal, I don't actually know. I sent them the link to the video about Ultra French. And sir or madam, my apologies. Because now you know what Ultra French is. And that is a cognito hazard and a half.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Story that could replace the Moses story, the Genesis story. That's what he wants to do.
I mean, it doesn't technically say he wants to replace it. He just wants it to no longer be the dominant idea of the past, which is a good idea because it's not true.
Sure.
He said, I want to
We should update our ideas.
Also, I do also want to point out that when Lyle says Moses in this context, what he actually means is the general, like, primeval history from Genesis. He doesn't actually mean the Exodus. From what I can tell, Lyle was probably like a Moses historicist and who believed in the actual Exodus. But when he says Moses, he's using that as shorthand for the Torah, and the only part of the Torah that really is in conflict with his ideas, and if you take the Torah literally, is like the primeval history. So, like, let's be very clear about that. His use of Moses is very different contextually from what yours might be. Rando from the chat for 100 Argentinian pesos says, a quick reminder that in French, pleu and pleu are pronounced different. Oh, wait, pleu and plus are pronounced differently and have opposite meanings. French, why? Why you do this? Why you do this? Why you like this?
For funsies.
I mean, I took French in high school. Shouldn't have. I should have taken Spanish. Although
I took Spanish and French in high school.
Really?
And I
didn't have
can't
that option.
I can't do either of them.
The only other language I had an option for was Latin, but I didn't realize that until it was too late because it wasn't a regular class. It was like this extra thing they offered during like study period that if you wanted to, you could go do. And I didn't sign up for it in time.
German as an option, which I did not take.
I don't think I had German.
I can only remember, I know a tiny little bit of French and I remember a portion of the conjugation, and I only know like a handful of words in Spanish. I can listen to French and Spanish sometimes and be able to pick up like the gist of what's going on, but you know, I'm not very smart.
I do remember that of the two French teachers I had in school, which was a Catholic school, I want to remind everyone, one of them was a out and not at all shy about it lesbian, and I was always wondering, like, how is it, like, it's got to be really weird, like, to be a lesbian teacher at a Catholic school. Like, that's got to be uncomfortable. And independent of that, she was not a terribly good French teacher, but still, I did always wonder, like, how does she not hate every single minute of this job? Because I gotta be honest, maybe she did. Yeah, maybe she did. But like, yeah, I can't imagine being lesbian or gay and being like, you know what, I'm going to teach at the Catholic school. Maybe
they were doing their best to try to like help out in sort of like a bad situation. Yeah,
I mean, maybe. I mean,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe it is. I don't know. Pegajace, the Darwin mythicist, for $5 says, I have seen the Ultra French video and I still have no idea what Ultra French is.
That's fair and reasonable.
I mean, it's basically an extremely cursed constructed language based on evolving French into the future in the worst ways possible. Lieutenant Matt the Navigator for $5 says, arms falling off. That's not very typical. I'd like to make that point. It's true, it's not very typical. Let's see. What am I missing here? We got from Astro Geek 61, who's been a member for 10 months at the Amniote level. My wife took Amslan as her language option.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, that's a new one for me. Let's see. Vandalia 1998, who's been a member for 63 months and is at the Amniote level, says, I missed 90 minutes of the stream because I passed out listening to Kip's audiobook.
Yeah.
Real. Look, I have Kip's audiobooks. I just finished it a few days ago, and it is quite good. Yeah. And there's only like 1 or 2 different places where he made a mistake and didn't edit it out, which is actually pretty typical for an audiobook. Yeah. I find most audiobooks have like 1 or 2 places like that. Landon Knoll for $2 says the
American
game.
Sign Language.
Oh, okay. That's really cool. I know I've forgotten most of the American Sign Language I ever learned.
Sign language needs to be a requirement in school.
At least some basics, right? I would like that.
You need to be able to communicate basically, yes.
Yeah. Landon Knoll for $2 says the game of Fizbin isn't in the pre-Yiddish Bible. That's true. You know what, Chesh? Sometime we should play a game of Fizbin. What do you say? I hear the rules are really simple.
I don't understand rules.
Well, I think that'll be okay for Fizbin.
I think so too.
Do you get the Fizbin reference?
Yes.
Do you?
No.
Okay, that's what I thought. It's Star Trek.
I know.
You didn't know. Who?
Yes, I did.
Who was the one who told everybody about Fizbin in Star Trek?
You.
No, it was not me.
What?
It was Captain Kirk.
You're lying to me.
I am not lying to you. Anyway.
What is happening? What are we doing?
I don't know. You think I know what's happening?
Absolutely ridiculous.
This is all just a bunch of chaos and nonsense.
This is all just a bunch of chaos and nonsense.
Olivia Williams, Prixie Purple, for $2.79 Beaver Bucks says, Je veux un peu plus de professeur lesbienne. Which, I mean, yeah, that's fair. We certainly did not have very many in that Catholic school. In fact, that particular teacher, I think, lasted... Okay, so I don't know how early she got there before I was there, but I don't think she made it past my sophomore year. I don't know the circumstances under which she quit, but, like, my guess is that it was, in fact, a very onerous thing to do to be a lesbian in a Catholic school. Teaching in a Catholic school, as not someone who was in the closet about it. Look, I hope that whatever she did next worked out well. And also, I kind of hope it wasn't teaching French, because, like I said, was not a great teacher of French, if I'm being honest.
You win some, you lose some.
Yeah. Although she did compliment my singing voice, which was nice. So there's that. Yeah. Zerolon for $5 says, I worked overtime today. Dapper can have some of it. Love this community. You all are amazing. Thank you very much, Zerolon. I really do appreciate that. Which means we're not even $3 away on the actual number, and we're only 3 super chats away from getting also the actual goal that's set there with an actual thing you can look at. So we're actually really close. I didn't think we would be, but
that's pretty great.
Yeah. And remember, if I make enough, then someday maybe I'll hire Chesh as a producer.
One day.
I did
One day I'll get paid for being here.
I said that like 5 years ago, and like it just hasn't happened. And
hey, it's
a big part of it is because like no amount that I could pay Chesh would feel fair.
So he chooses to not pay me at all.
Well, you're not producing for me. I'm producing for me right now.
That's true.
You volunteered to produce for the Star Trek game. I was gonna produce it, but then you were like, I could do it. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, but I didn't want you to have to produce and DM at the same time, because that's a lot.
And that's I appreciate it. I really do.
That's a lot. I wanted to contribute.
And you did a lot. Also with the art.
I do.
Yeah.
I'm a helper.
Like that show is really
I also volunteer to be here.
This was actually your idea.
This was my idea.
Yeah.
I'm just invited to my own ideas sometimes.
Joshua Gee says, Fizbin or a gin fizz, am I right? For $5.
Hey!
Which,
on the plus side, at least I know I'm volunteering for you and you're not pretending you're going to pay me and then screwing me over later.
Oh, yeah, who would do that?
Who would do that?
What a horrible thing to do. Anyone who did
That'd be awful.
Anyone who did that should just go jump in front of traffic. I don't know.
Something about buses, I don't know.
Yeah, or the pavement, maybe just the sidewalk.
Beware of Applebee's, or so I've heard.
Yeah, it's very dangerous out there.
Careful, guys. Don't slip on the icy patch.
All right, so now we're going to read 2 pages from English as She Is Spoke. This is Familiar Dialogues. All right. So,
We are one super chat away, by the way.
Oh, we did just get another one. Arrow Dodger 499 says, "Why does Chesh have a picture of Masahiro Sakurai on her wall?" Chesh?
Are you talking about this?
I believe so, yes.
I cannot wait for those of you who did go subscribe to my channel. I cannot wait for you guys to actually look at either the stream from earlier today or when you catch me on my next stream, because there's actually a picture of me up there.
Nice. All right. So by the way, we did get
funny.
both goals now, which means we're doing 6 pages. And what should we do if we hit 150 in supers? Was 4 pages of English as she is spoke reading for 50%. I explain why I'm not a linguist at 34%, and I wear my suit on Saturday for 16%. By the way, but guys, we're going to be past the halfway point by the time we finish with these 6 pages. So English as she is spoke reading isn't going to last all that much longer. All right. Familiar dialogue.
Am I allowed to say the F word now?
You absolutely are.
Oh, hell yeah. I just want to say a special fuck you to James. Thank you.
There you go. Hey,
stop being a dick. You don't need to be like this.
I also want to point out, yeah, that's an important part. You don't have to be like this, and you can't stop. Here's what you do, James. I know you're not watching, but whatever. Here's what you do. You apologize publicly, promise to do better, and take down any videos that have Nazis that you've platformed.
And then proceed to do better.
Yeah, well, then actually do proceed to do better. But that's it. It's actually not a big ask.
It's not a big ask.
It's literally like, hey, take down all your fucking pro-Hitler shit.
And we get to hear a plan. Remember, don't forget.
I mean, I'm not going to be super specific. As long as there's a good apology and a promise to do better, that's a good enough plan for me. Chesh.
No. Your plan. Your high plan. Your plan of being high.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that real quick. All right, so here's my idea, right?
He was so excited about it, he forgot.
Look, there's a lot of stuff going on. It's a very busy time right now.
Yeah, I thought saying fuck you to James was saying fuck you to Nazis, but I'll be more specific also. Fuck Nazis in general?
Yeah, general. Unless they would enjoy that, in which case don't.
In which case don't.
Yeah. Anyway, so the plan is what I'm thinking about doing is doing another TTRPG show, but this one has a few twists. One is that it's a horror game. So, I'll pick like a horror rule set like Call of Cthulhu or Mothership or the Alien RPG or something like that, right? And rather than actually having the sessions be what goes live, after each session, one person, this is why I need the voice acting bit, is selected to record a journal entry about what happened. And then that gets edited into the actual upload. And what it means also is that I'm going to encourage the people who do that to not listen to each other's audio logs. So that way, their recollection of what's been happening might actually slightly differ. And then there's going to be a shell story where there's going to be someone who's going around finding their tapes, like their audio logs in a video game or something, while they're investigating the site where all this happened.
Oh, you could do it like the Backroomsy style tape too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
with like the way you've done some of your like liminal spacey type stuff.
Yeah, there's some serious possibilities.
Ooh, this is a fun idea.
I know. That's why after I stopped being high and looked back at it, I was like, no, that actually is a good idea.
But wait a minute. But that's actually real cool.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so here we go. This is familiar dialogues with the first subheading being for wish the good morning. So, how does your father do? He is very well. I am very delighted of it. Where is it? I shall come back soon. I was no came that to know how you are. So that is how you wish the good morning, everybody. Next up, for make a visit in the morning. Is your master at home? Yes, sir. Is it up? That seems like a rude question. No, sir. He is asleep yet. I go make that he get up. It come in ones? How is it you are in bed yet? Yesterday at evening, I was to bed so late that I may not rising me soon that morning. That's a lot. Well, what have you done? Yes. Well, what have you done after the supper? We have sung, danced, laughed, and played. What game? To the picket. Who am I sorry do not have know it? Who have prevailed upon? I have gained 10 Louis. Just Louis, okay?
Like the individual?
Yeah, except it's not capitalized.
Do you keep him in your pocket?
Till what o'clock it's had play one? Jeez. Until 2 o'clock after midnight. Midnight is 2 words. At what o'clock are you go to bed? 3:30. Not past. Pass. 3:30. I am no astonished if you get up so late. What o'clock is it? What o'clock you think it is it? I think it is not yet 8 o'clock. How is that? 8 o'clock? It is 10 o'clock struck. It must then when I rise be quickly. Adieu, my dear, I leave you. If you can see to your 6 o'clock at the hotel from *****, we will dine together. Willingly. Goodbye. That is a dialogue, everybody. Perfectly normal English conversation right there. That's how you English. All right, that was 3 pages. Well, actually, we're not quite done with the 3rd page. For to dress himself. John, make haste. Lighted the fire and dress me. Give me my shirt. There it is, sir. It is no hot. It is too cold yet. If you like, I will hot it. No, bring me my silk stockings. But that's stockings apostrophe S. It's our make holes. Make it a point to mend them. Comb me, take another comb. Give me my handkerchief. There is a clean, sir. What coat dress you today? Oh, sorry, that was probably still the same guy. What coat dress you today? Those that I had yesterday. The tailor do owe to bring soon that of cloth. Have you waxed my shoes? I go wax it now. It must that I may wash my hands, the mouth, and my face. That is a dialogue. That was 4 pages. We got 2 more pages here.
Yay!
Will you take a walk with me? Wait for that worm be out. Go through that meadow, who the country is beautiful, who the trees are thick. Take the blooms for perfume. It seems me that the corn does push already, but already is just ALREDY. You hear the birds gurgling? Gurgling? Which pleasure, which charm. You can tell that this was translated from Portuguese into French there, because, like, quel plaisir, that makes sense there. But, like, quel doesn't always work when you're translating straight to English. Yeah, okay. Let's see. The field has by me 1,000 charms. Are you hunter? Will you go to the hunting in one day this week? Willingly. I have not a most pleasure in the world. There is some game on they cantons. We have done a great walk. That's the walk, everybody. Here we go. The weather. We shall have a fine weather today. There is some foggy. I fear of the thunderbolt. The sun rise on. The sun lie down. It is light moons. It's again moon apostrophe S. Which just amazing. I'm just making sure my count on pages is right. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, we got 1 more after this. For to write. It is today courier's days. I have letter to write. At which does you write? Is not that? Look, one is that. That is letter arrears. Oh, sorry. This letter is arrears. Okay. It shall stay to post. This pen are good for knotting. During I finish that letter, do me the goodness to scall this packet. It is by my cousin. How is the day of month? The 2, the 3, the 4, etc. That is some letter to me. Go to bear thy letter to the post. Okay. So we are on our last dialogue here. The gaming. Oh, for $2. The sun lie down and go boom, says Lieutenant Matt the navigator. Sun fall down, go boom boom.
Go boom boom?
Alright, the gaming. Do you like the gaming? At what pack will you that we does play? To the cards. Waiter, give us a cards game. What is the trump? The club's king. Oh, that's too topical. Play if you please. The heart's aces. We do ought. This time I have a great deal pack. Well, there you go, everybody. That was approximately 6 pages of English as she is spoke, which is... It's actually not very easy to read because none of it makes any sense. And so it's just like, I have to just read the words as I go. Yeah, there you go. We are now
Um,
well past the halfway point, by the way. The book only has, let's see, like, why did the page number stop? It's only got like 70-ish pages. So, yeah.
I should probably explain myself slightly to chat, as
Oh.
somebody asked if this was as bad as this poetry, and then I responded by saying, is it worse than pedexing? And I don't think anybody knows what that is or where it's from. Dapper, do you have any idea?
Is that when you're trying to make your feet look as good as possible? Because, like, look maxing for your feet?
No, it is not.
Oh, then no, that was my guess.
And it's not pedestrian crossing either, although that's a pretty good guess. Both good guesses. No, so pedexing is the name of the book and the author of the poetry that is read by Dave the Barbarian in the show Dave the Barbarian to drive away the filthy pixies that are invading their town, Udragoth, by his girlfriend, Princess Irma Plotz. So it does not surprise me that nobody knows this, but that's what that is. And if you haven't watched Dave the Barbarian, I'm pretty sure actually all of it is on YouTube, and I highly recommend it. It is hilarious.
All right. Well, with that though, Chesh, what do you have coming up that people might want to know about?
Apparently, I've got to make some puppets.
Yeah.
You can follow me on Twitch. I do art on Monday and Tuesday and Thursday and Friday. I'm also I'm doing a little bit of like Canada versus MAGA stuff, like MAGA takedowny stuff. And that is happening right now on Tuesdays in the afternoon and on Thursdays in the afternoon. I also do a show called Dumb Feck Friday with Manya, where we talk about stupid people. And on this Friday, it is actually over on Debate Hub. I have potentially 3 shows on Friday and Saturday. Saturday is Rum and Coke Night, which I think Dapper is coming to. And maybe our philosophy show is going to be, because we had to delay it. There was some stuff that went on. And then Friday is also our volcano show. So if you're interested in volcano tracking, if you like the educational debate style stuff, that's on Debate Hub. If you like me just being a goober, that's on my channel. And if you like art, that's on Twitch.
I think I just got voluntold for Rum and Coke.
Also, please, if you do have like just a couple minutes out of your day, please go and check out my my YouTube shorts, just only for the legal stuff, just because getting a couple more eyes on it would be really, really beneficial, and I would really, really appreciate it. So just if you have a couple minutes, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. So what's coming up over
Online harassment sucks.
here is Tuesday is today, so I don't have to tell you about that. But Thursday at noon my time, which is 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, I have the final part of the Catholic geocentrism videos. So, and here's the fun thing. John Sanford's face is in the thumbnail. Would you like to know why?
Why?
It is in an attempt to get Sal to respond to a video in which he thinks that I'm calling John Sanford a geocentrist, but John Sanford occurs not one time in that video to my memory. I don't think I mentioned him at all. It's just a trap for Sal.
I see.
Yeah.
Is Sal still bitch made?
Oh, Sal has been bitch made for like 100 or 1,050 days or something like that.
I've got a guy that is now doing that to me, and it's actually quite funny. I made him very upset on Friday. He's very angry. Yeah.
So then that's Thursday. Over on Friday on Top Hats Off, the plan right now is that we are going to be doing Star Trek Adventures. Finally, I have 6 out of the 7 players who said that they are good to be there, which is our minimum. So it looks like we're actually going to be playing, regardless of whether or not whoever is the last one, which I think might actually be Zero On. Get on it, Zero On.
Yeah.
Come on. So yeah, that's going to be at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, over on Top Hats Off. If one of my mods could send a link in the chat to Top Hats Off, I'd appreciate it. Then on Saturday, I'm going to be doing Dapper Reacts, but Vishanti will not be there. She's off learning how to be a rabbi or something. Which, I mean, it's a big lifelong goal for her, so, like, good for her, and I'm glad that she's able to do it. Also, speaking of Vishanti, we got her fundraiser covered. We actually went over 100% on that. We exceeded the goal by a little bit over $300, if I remember correctly. And Zerulon has responded. We're at 7, so looks like we're good for that. So I want to say thank you so much to everyone who helped with that. I know Erica's chat also helped with that, but it was this chat that raised the vast majority of that. We raised over $5,000 before we ever even got to Erica's chat. So I want to say thank you so much. It really means a lot to me and to Vishanti. In fact, it's been a bit stressful, me worrying about what's going to happen to her, because, Vishanti is a good friend of mine, and I don't want her to be on the streets. So it's obviously a bigger deal for her than it is for me, but it's also been a source of big stress for me, and it's not a big source of stress for me anymore. Now it's a source of only mild stress. So there you go. And then next Tuesday, the plan is Matt with Maddie. I do have to double check with Maddie, but she is almost always good to go for that. So that is the plan there, and that will be at the same time as this show. Also, I want to say coming up next month, we are doing clock changes, which means that some of the times will be changing because I don't do clock changes, but you guys do. So pay attention. What? Did you get surprised by clock changes?
I forgot about clock changes.
Okay. Well, it's
that
next
happens
month.
To me.
So, so I am making the executive decision that I am not up for a movie night right now. I
needs a nap.
I tried to take more time off than I succeeded at taking off over the weekend.
Needs a nap. And
so I might not immediately go to sleep, but I need to just not do anything where anyone requires anything of me for a little while.
It's a nap.
So it might be a nap. But so sorry about that if you were looking forward to that. We will hopefully be back on Saturday for that. Because hopefully I will get whatever it is that is making me be like, I need to just stop for a little bit out of my system. I did start editing a video. I'm hoping to have the edit done tomorrow. So if you are a member of the Patreon or a channel member, hopefully you will have access to a video for early access tomorrow, probably in the afternoon or evening. And failing that, it should almost certainly be done by Wednesday. I don't think it'll take me any longer than that. Of course, every time I say that, it takes like 3 extra days. So, I don't know. Look forward to next Tuesday, I guess, for a video. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Stay safe out there. And furthermore, ICE must be abolished.
Hey, before you leave, I just want to take a second to thank my patrons and channel members, especially those pledging $20 or above. Phil Rivara, Kelvin Brostig von Manen, David Hercules, Joshua Geese, Pegajace, The Plastic Mouse, Arrow Dodger, Gordon Love Science, Ember Athelian, Prixie Purple, Agricola Siqua, Me, Myself, and I, Edwin M., Kenneth Swenson, Lance Hall, and John Ackerman. It's because of my channel members and patrons whom you're seeing on screen that this channel can stay afloat. Without you, it would all shut down. If you want to join the team, there's a link to join the channel below this video, and there's a link to join the Patreon in the description. On the Patreon, you can get a 15% discount for pledging annually, and either way, you get early access to virtually all of my scripted videos months before they come out for the general public. Thanks for watching.